What's a supercar? Well, it seems a simple question. You see, back in my day, it was a really fast car made somewhere abroad, mainly Italy, that cost an absolute fortune. What did fast mean? Well, the Ferrari Dino hit 0 to 60 in about 5.5 seconds. And the Lamborghini Miura, that was the one that featured being bulldozed over a cliff in the Italian job, the original version, that achieved 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. Both cost about $5,000 new back in 1970, when a small family saloon like the Ford Escort cost a bit over 600 quid. Even the RS 1600, the fully souped up version, only cost about 1,500 quid. And while not as quick, taking about 9 seconds, it was certainly very much quicker than a bog standard Escort, which took about 20 seconds. Well, those were the days. Family saloons firmly in their proper place, and supercars were the dream. If this is you, please subscribe. It's free. But the problem is today my Tesla Model 3 long range hits 60 miles an hour in 3.9 seconds and is actually quite a large family 5-seater saloon with a huge boot. Does that make my Model 3 long range a supercar? Sadly not. There is more to it than that. This is Dave Takes It On. I'm Dave, looking into exactly what a supercar is today in 2026 and whether the BYD Denza Z9 GT, due to launch in mid-2026 with deliveries later this year, can out Ferrari, the real Ferrari EV that's just been announced for launch later in 2026 with first UK deliveries 2027. Certainly keeps the same tradition in pricing. The Lucha is expected to be about £500,000, the Z9 GT about a fifth of that. Now, I must own up, I once had a Lamborghini Urraco, very nearly bought a Ferrari Dino. I've driven many other classics like Alfa Romeo Montreal Citroën SM, plus I've raced many seriously quick cars around Alton Park and Donington Park race circuits under the watchful eye of several Formula 1 drivers and one world champion. The latest Chinese electric superwagon, taking on Ferrari's very first all-electric car, costs a fraction of the price. We're talking about two cars with over 1,000 horsepower, both capable of brain-melting acceleration. One's from Maranello, the heart of Italian supercar royalty. The other, that's from the Chinese giant that's rewriting the rules of the car industry. Today, we're not just comparing two cars, we're asking a much bigger question. Is the traditional supercar dead? And is a badge, any badge, a history, a heritage, a legend, really worth £500,000? Well, this is the story of the cars that might just answer that question. Well, for over 75 years, Ferrari has been far more than just a car company. It's been a dream, a symbol of ultimate performance, passion, prestige. The prancing horse is an icon, the benchmark all of the performance cars are measured against. Now, as the world pivots to electric, Ferrari is making its most controversial move yet. Its first fully electric production car, the Lucha. But just as this new chapter begins, that challenger has emerged from the east. On paper, the Z9 GT seems to match the electric Ferrari on nearly every metric that matters. It's a battle of old money versus new tech, of heritage versus technology. So, is the reign of the supercar as we know it over? Let's investigate. Let's start with that challenger. Denza is the sporty high-value branch of the budget-minded BYD. It's just like Lexus is the luxury brand of the cheaper Toyotas. The Denza Z9 GT is a flagship Grand Tourer, and it's a massive statement of intent. This isn't just another EV. It's a technological powerhouse designed to compete with the absolute very best coming out of Europe. When you look at the specs, it's easy to see why. The all-electric version features a tri-motor setup, one at the front, two at the rear, just like the Tesla Model S Plaid, producing a staggering combined output of 1,140 horsepower. The Denza has a claimed 0 to 62 time, just 2.7 seconds. That's not just fast, that's very definitely hypercar territory, from what looks like a futuristic luxury wagon. It's built on BYD's advanced e-platform 3.0, integrating their famous blade battery right into the chassis. This isn't just for efficiency, it improves rigidity and handling. The tech doesn't stop there. The Z9 GT also features advanced rear-wheel steering for incredible agility, and BYD has demonstrated advanced manoeuvres on its platforms that allow for tight turns in really small spaces. But here's the most disruptive part, the price. In Europe, the Z9 GT is available for pre-order starting at €115,000. That's under £100,000 in the UK. For a car with this level of performance and this level of technology, that figure is simply jaw-dropping. It directly targets established players like the Porsche Taycan, the Audi e-tron GT, but by offering over 1,000 horsepower, it's also punching way above its price bracket. And we're aiming a direct shot at the new to-be-crowned king from Maranello. Now for the champion, the Ferrari Lucha. Represents a monumental moment for the Italian marque. It's their first ever fully electric car, and the weight of expectation is immense. For decades, the soul of a Ferrari has been its screaming internal V8, V10, V12 combustion engine. So how do you translate that passion into a near-silent electric powertrain? Apparently not the way that Lucha has been received. It's appallingly bad reviews and an avalanche of negative comments. Well, Ferrari's answer technically is a quad motor, all-wheel drive monster. That's one extra motor, so first blood to Ferrari. The Lucha sends a combined 1,035 horsepower to the wheels. Second blood goes to BYD with their 1,140 horses. It has a heavily rear-biased setup to maintain that classic Ferrari driving feel. The claimed 0 to 62 times, blistering 2.5 seconds, so 0.2 seconds quicker than the Challenger, with a very similar top speed, limited to 190. Power comes from a 122 kilowatt-hour battery developed in-house, which is a structural part of the chassis to keep the centre of gravity incredibly low. The Z9 GT is almost identical here. Well, the design's a radical departure, a collaboration with Loveform, the design firm led by former Apple design chief Johnny Ive. It's a 5-seat, 4-door liftback, a first for Ferrari, and offering a 5th seat, which was made possible by the EV platform. This is not just an electric sports car, it's a total reimagining of what a Ferrari could or can be. But all this innovation, all this heritage, that comes at a price. The Ferrari Lucha is expected to cost just about €550,000, under £500,000. That's an astronomical figure. It firmly places the Lucha in the realm of ultra-luxury supercars, a car for the very select few. This car has to be more than just fast. It has to be an event, an experience, a masterpiece. The question is, can it justify that price when a Challenger offers such similar performance for so much less? The BYD offers over 90% of the straight-line performance for about 20% of the price. For the cost of one electric Ferrari, you could buy a Denza Z9 GT for yourself and get yourself a second holiday home in Italy. Of course, the car is more than this 0 to 60 time. Ferrari is bringing its legendary chassis dynamics, active suspension, decades of F1 experience to the table. Lucha even promises an authentic Ferrari sound. It's created by capturing and amplifying mechanical noises from the electric drivetrain rather than faking an engine note. Denza, on the other hand, is packing its own impressive tech, like ultra-fast charging. Claims to charge 10% to 98% in 9 minutes. That's probably faster than a howling V12 fuel tank taking 90-odd litres takes to fill up. Both can add a huge amount of range in just a few minutes, and a suite of driver assists and the interior tech that rivals the best in the business. The Denza is heavier, but it also boasts slightly more horsepower based on the reports. The Ferrari is lighter and a fraction quicker to 60, embodying that relentless focus on pure performance. But no matter how you slice it, the on-paper comparison is shockingly close. The engineering gap between the established Titan and the new money Challenger has never been smaller. The financial gap, however, has never been wider. And that forces us to ask the most important question of all. Why does someone spend nearly £500,000 on a car? It's clearly not just for the speed. Nobody needs to get to 60 miles an hour in 2.5 seconds, and you can do it in other cars. Nobody can legally drive at 190 miles an hour, and you can do that in other cars. You're buying something else entirely. You're buying a story, a symbol, a heritage, a legend. Now, if you're enjoying this, please make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. So when you buy a Ferrari, you're buying into 80 years of racing history, the victories at Le Mans, the Formula One championships, the legacy of Enzo Ferrari himself. It's a tangible piece of automotive royalty. It's about exclusivity, knowing you own something rare and desired by millions. It's the feeling you get when you see that prancing horse on the steering wheel. That is an emotional connection that data sheets can't capture. For these buyers, a car is an expression of identity and achievement. The Denza Z9 GT, on the other hand, represents a totally different philosophy, one that's becoming incredibly powerful in the electric era. It's a philosophy driven by technology, efficiency, and user experience. Chinese brands like BYD aren't just catching up. In many areas of EV technology, like battery innovation software, they are leading the pack by miles. For a growing number of buyers, especially tax-heavy EV adopters, brand heritage is becoming less important than what the car can actually do. They value seamless technology, incredible charging speeds, absolute battery reliability and safety, and getting the absolute maximum performance for their money. They're less interested in the stories of the past and more excited about the technology of the future. The Denza Z9 GT is built for them. They can charge their battery at home incredibly cheaply, then head off to Italy for a weekend in the newly acquired holiday home in Tuscany. Or they could head down to Monaco, where the Z9 GT can hold its own outside the main casinos. It doesn't have the heritage of a Ferrari, but it doesn't have the price tag either. You probably still got some change from your holiday home to take to the tables to try to win your money back. It offers a rational, almost undeniable proposition. Why pay more for a story when you can have the same performance for less? So, is the Denza Z9 GT a Ferrari killer? No! Well, not exactly. But it's the wrong question. You see, Ferrari will be fine for the moment. They will sell every Lucha they build, because the people who buy Ferraris, they're buying into a club, an exclusive dream that goes beyond mere performance numbers. The brand's power lies in its scarcity and prestige, something a newer brand simply can't replicate overnight. A Lucha driver would welcome occasionally seeing and meeting a fellow Lucha owner. They move in the same circles. A Denza Z9 GT owner might just shy away from seeing so many others on the roads of Tuscany. Nouveau riche, loads of money. Wouldn't they wish they had the buying power to be able to spend that extra £400,000? But the Denza Z9 GT is arguably much more significant. It's a disruptor. It proves that supercar levels of performance are no longer the exclusive playground of legacy brands with 9-figure racing budgets. It completely changes the conversation around value in the high-performance market. It may not steal the traditional Ferrari buyer, but it will absolutely capture the attention of a new generation of performance fans who are more loyal to innovation than to a specific badge. And the youngsters of today, those ultra-rich ones that are the influencers and social media superstars, have almost never heard of a Ferrari Dino, certainly never driven one, or a 308 GTS like Magnum used to drive. In fact, they'd probably never heard of Magnum, aside from it being a huge bottle of champagne with which to impress their, I was going to say friends, but they have none. They just have rivals for the clicks and the views. The Z9 GT makes the established supercar world look nervously over its shoulder. For the first time, makes a £500,000 price tag for similar on-paper performance seem not just expensive, but potentially absurd. Doesn't make Ferrari obsolete, but it certainly makes it less relevant to a growing part of the market. The world of performance cars is splitting in two. Those who buy the history, those who buy the future. Those who buy history, they're getting older, they're getting wiser, they're certainly getting fewer. Or maybe the Z9 GT will come to symbolise a wise choice, as it allows some to get a decent deposit on a used private executive jet with the change. So what do you think? Is brand heritage and the soul of a supercar worth a £400,000 premium? Or has the game changed completely? Let me know in your thoughts down below. Thanks for watching. I'm Dave.